Do you think it's important that we share good memories? Well, that's what we did this last Tuesday at our grief support group in Newport Richey here. I live in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, just to let you know if you don't know that already, and lead a support group at my church. And we meet every Tuesday night ongoing throughout the year. So I always have, I'm changing up the message, the topics, the things that we share. But, and because there's so much with grief that we can talk about, so many things we can learn. We've been going through the misconceptions of grief, by the way. Just heard a wonderful teaching today by Gary Rowe on some of the lies or misconceptions that people believe about grief. So we will ongoingly, I will be talking about that more. If you ever want me to talk about a certain topic here on my channel, please let me know. I'm totally open to that. That is what I asked my regular attendees at the grief support group, if they would write an index card. The answers to several questions, and one of them was, what did they like about our grief support group, and any suggestions. And another one was any topics they would like to have covered. So I'm really open to that. I would love to cover something if you would like me to, or maybe you have a certain question you want that answered. So I want to just talk a little bit about how our evening went Tuesday night and some of what I shared, because we all everybody was allowed to bring 1 to 3 objects or pictures of their loved one, or more than one loved one, or maybe more than one memory, an object attached to a memory. So we went around one time with everybody sharing one, and then if we had time for more, we did another one. Well, we're definitely continuing this Tuesday, by the way, to keep this going, because it was really good for all of us, first of all. Second of all, one lady said she realized the time was running out. So she said, I'll do next week, because that was going to be a couple days before the anniversary of her sister's passing, I believe, or her birthday. And then another person didn't feel totally ready, but did share. So either way, we're going to keep this going, and some people want to share another one. So it was really good for us. It was really good for me. So I'm going to talk personally about myself. And I want to share a picture. If you see the thumbnail, you saw the picture on the thumbnail. But this is a picture of my daughter Heidi as a young adult. But it's one of the only really healthy pictures of her. And I saw this last Sunday approximately, and it had some music on, and I looked at it, and I looked into her eyes, and I'm a believer in Jesus, and she had what I'm going to talk about. I'll show you a picture of her baptism, but she had chosen to believe in Jesus too. We raised her that way, but everybody makes the choice. So anyway, this is one of the few pictures I had of her as an adult where she physically looked healthy, and she looked at peace. So when I looked into her eyes, I was like, wow, there's peace. There's the Lord. I believe I see the Lord in there. And it really blessed me, because I know she's with the Lord in heaven, but at first I struggled with that. So that's another topic. And that's her brother Jordan, who has Down syndrome. It's such a beautiful picture, and it was one of our last trips we had as a family, sadly, to go to my husband's mother's memorial. But we went to New York City together. It was actually one of the last happy trips we all made together as a whole family, and she with us. And it was before she eventually lost a boyfriend to death at 27 years old to alcoholism, very sadly, and then went on to get into another relationship and got pregnant with Annabelle, and that was the relationship she was with until she died, and had all 4 children with him. And realizing that grief was a big part of her story. I didn't totally realize that until several months ago. Did I get that revelation that grief was a big part of her story, and potentially if she would have learned better how to handle her grief, things could have maybe been differently. We can't go back, we can't change things. We can learn things, though, I think. It's not to beat ourselves up or to live in regrets or walk in guilt, but to learn, maybe to share with others things that could help them for the future. So then on Sunday, like I said, I think I saw the picture actually that afternoon, so this kind of almost happened right back to back. a friend, the mother of one of her good friends, childhood friends, who is also a friend of mine, but I don't see her all the time, from church. She had a picture of Heidi's baptism. And the reason why, and I do have this picture somewhere too, hopefully you can see this a little closer there, hopefully that's not too close, but it's when she was about 13 and in a pool, because our church has their baptisms in a pool because we don't have a baptismal. And she got, some of the other ones who got baptized at the same time was her friend, and her mom was there. So of course we both have that memory. We hold that memory together that our kids got baptized at the same time together. So she gave me this, and I happened to sit in front of her. So coincidence, right? No, I don't think so. But so to just see her and remember her getting baptized and choosing to believe in Jesus Christ as her Lord and Savior, and then seeing the look in her eyes before before things turned south in a lot of ways for Heidi, really was special, very special, and I did cry. Good tears, but I cried. So we need to remember. We need to remember the good times.